Gracie.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, yeah.
So today is our 6th session together. I think we said we'd probably do 12 to 15.
Okay.
So we're about halfway. Okay, so what I want to do today is go over the homework that I gave you for last week and see how that went. Do our regular mood check-in that we do every week just to see how you're feeling. I want to hear a little bit about your week. See if anything came up that is important for you to talk about today. And then we'll just continue with the model that we've been working on. So I know we've talked a lot about CBT and what that looks like, and we'll continue to go over it, and we'll continue to follow the same process that we've been doing. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell me about the homework I assigned you for last week. How did that go?
It went good. I went out a couple times during the week with people. So one time with my sister, and then another time I went to dinner with my roommates. So that was a good break from school.
Yeah,
So
that's great. And I started implementing a little more of that social interaction into your schedule, yeah? Okay.
So I think it was helpful.
Yeah. And is that something you feel like you can continue in the coming weeks?
I think so. I mean, it does take some, energy, I guess. But I see that it's worth it, so I'd like to keep doing it. So.
Yeah, so even though it takes some thought and some probably reorganizing your schedule a little bit, it's something that you think is valuable. It's a good way to spend your time.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that went well. Remember, if anytime, we decide on a homework assignment and it doesn't seem to be working for you, this is an open forum, you can let me know, and this is about you and the process that you need it to be, so you can always just let me know, but I'm really glad to hear that went well. What about how you're feeling today? Maybe on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being great, 1 being not so great. Where do you think you fall today?
Maybe a 5.
Okay.
4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a feeling associated with you right now?
I feel a little bit anxious.
Okay.
Or nervous. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What has this past week looked like for you? Is there anything that's come up that you want to share?
Yeah, I think I feel kind of anxious because I had an assignment that was due, I guess 3 days ago, and I missed it. So I'm just feeling kind of weird from that.
Okay. Is that kind of throwing off your week?
Was
it an assignment that you forgot about, or you just felt overwhelmed?
I knew it. I didn't forget about it. I think I just felt like I didn't know how to do it. It was a long paper. And I just was feeling more and more overwhelmed. And so then just kept procrastinating. And then when it got time to turn it in, I didn't have it. And now I haven't emailed my professor about it because I think I feel stupid that I didn't turn it in, and embarrassed and kind of anxious about what he'll say, and so
Yeah. Okay. So the actual event itself was stressful, but also everything that's happened afterwards, just do I tell him, do I not, how do I confront it, that's all been stressful too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, maybe there's a way we can kind of incorporate that situation into our discussion today.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's weighing on you pretty heavy. Okay, so like always, like we do every session, I just want to remind you about the model that we're doing. The CBT process is completely rooted in how our thoughts affect our feelings and how our feelings affect our behaviors. And we've been doing it for weeks now, and so you're pretty familiar with it, but I want you to feel like you can stay in the loop, and I want you to feel like there's total transparency in this process and how we approach it and how we approach it together. This isn't just me telling you what to do, and this isn't you doing all the work on your own. This is a team effort. And so I want you to continue to feel like you're clued in to the questions I ask and kind of the motives behind the exercises that we do and stuff like that.
Okay.
So in terms of looking at a behavior or something about your life that you want to change today, is the thing with the assignment that you didn't turn in, is that kind of like what you're wanting to focus on today, or is there something bigger?
No, that is, because it's kind of I guess I've done that a few times.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, kind of a recurring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I definitely do remember some other times that that has caused some anxiety for you, is turning in an assignment. And I mean, that's largely why you're here too, is because, school is stressful, school's really hard. So it makes sense that is something that keeps coming up for you. So tell me a little bit about what was going on with you that day, and maybe some, just other details about how that happened and stuff.
The day, like, before it was due? Or,
yeah, just like whatever the process looked like for you, from beginning to end, like.
Well, so, I mean, I knew the assignment was coming up for like a month, but I just like kept thinking I'll do it later. And then as it came down to the week before, and I started to do some, like, I read through the syllabus or what I was supposed to do, and then tried to do a little bit of research, but just was realizing, like, I totally don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't feel like I'm not smart enough to write this. Like, I don't know what to do. So I think I just got more and more anxious and kind of kept putting it off, and every time that I would try to do some research, I got more overwhelmed, and so it was just this cycle. And so then eventually that just ran out of time. So then that was it.
And it was due a few days ago, you said?
It was due, I guess, what is today? Wednesday. It was due on Monday. So.
Okay. And since then, you've just been having a lot of anxious feelings?
Yeah. I just feel like I feel really anxious about, like, should I go to the professor? Should he be coming to me? But I, like, feel too embarrassed and too, like, I don't know, I just feel dumb. I feel so dumb. Like, I felt like I was not smart enough to write it, but now I feel like that was it wasn't smart of me to not do it either.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I just feel anxious because I want to know, like, my classmates are getting back their grades, and I don't know what I should be doing.
Yeah. Sounds like that's really weighing on you, that it's, I mean, you said you've known about the assignment for a month. That's a long time to feel anxious and stressed about one thing,
Yeah.
Well, thanks for, going into more detail about that. It's going to be helpful. So what about that situation for you stands out to you as kind of like the big thing, like the big problem? Maybe the thing that, like, causes you to just decide, like, I'm not going to do this assignment. I'm not even going to put in any effort. Like, what stands out to you as kind of like the thing that you can point to and say, like, that's why, that's where it starts for me?
I mean, I guess, like, I just feel I'm like, I don't feel competent. So, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So then, like, because I don't know, that I feel like I'm not capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the main issue of, like, I don't want to try and fail. Like, I want to do it and do it right, or like not do it at all.
Sure. Yeah. Kind of like an all or nothing.
So, yeah.
So feeling incompetent, feeling incapable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, as you know, like we've, been doing this process for several weeks now, and so you kind of like are able to understand that there's a huge connection between your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors. And so let's call the behavior just like giving up. Like, I'm not going to do this assignment. I'm not going to turn it in. It's just not going to happen. And then you said that some feelings you have around that are feeling incapable, feeling incompetent. Are there any other feelings that you have about that?
I mean, that kind of nails it.
Yeah, sure. And those are huge feelings. Takes a lot of energy to feel that way. That's carrying a lot. Okay, so...
I mean, feeling dumb. I don't know. Is that a feeling?
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. I feel that.
Okay, so feeling dumb, feeling incompetent, feeling incapable. And so because you're familiar with the model, let's just go ahead and say that the next thing we want to look at are the thoughts. Because we know that thoughts affect our feelings, affect our behaviors. And so can you pinpoint any thoughts that you were having, anything just running through your head in the moments before you started feeling stupid and incompetent and incapable?
I think I was thinking, well, everyone around me seems to know how to do this, and so, like, so I think I was thinking about others and seeing, like, well, no one else seems to be having a problem with this assignment. And then that was maybe the trigger.
Sure. So maybe that you were behind. Maybe that you were kind of on a different page than everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
That everyone kind of already knew how to do it, and so it was easy for them. Okay. So let me just tell you a little bit about what I think is happening here. So you're not doing your work. You're having a really hard time following through on assignments. And that's really hard, but it doesn't seem like that's all that there is going on. Seems like there are a lot of other things playing into that. What connection do you see between all those things? Maybe based on what you know about CBT, based on what you know about yourself.
I mean, I guess I'm seeing, like, so maybe I'm, like, seeing my classmates, like, seeing, like, they have it together and, like, understand what's going on. And then that's making me feel, like, kind of down and isolated, and, like, I'm the only one who is dumb and not smart enough. And then it makes me just kind of, then I guess I don't do my assignments because of that, because I feel too, like, down about it.
So it seems like the thoughts that you're having are kind of negatively affecting your ability to follow through on your assignments.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
So,
kind of going back to what we've been doing for the last several weeks, what do you think we can do to kind of set you on the right track? What do you think we can do to kind of set you up for success in that? Where would you start?
I mean, I guess, like, I'd like to start doing my assignments, so, I don't know, maybe we could focus on, ways for me to, practical ways for me to just, like, get motivated to start.
Sure. So if having those negative thoughts is what's keeping you from not doing your assignment, like, let's talk about the flip side of that. Let's talk about what about you stands out as a good student? What about you is positive?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm in grad school, so I made it in, so that must be something.
Yeah.
Like, when I do turn in my work, I usually get, like, fine grades. Like, usually good, like, A's and B's. So I guess that means something.